It's Amy and it's Tom. How are we doing, guys? We okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, very good, pal. Very good.
Tom, we were just saying a second ago. It's been ages since we got you on here, pal. A lot of dust has settled since the Champions League final. I don't want to talk about it too much because I genuinely, when people ask me about it, I just kind of change the subject very quickly and try and move on to some things. But it still hurts. Now we've just brought it up. It's just like, oh, I don't want to talk about it again. But it's frustrating, isn't it? It doesn't seem that long ago, but it still hurts a little bit. It always will, I
Yeah,
suppose, won't it?
yeah, very. I think. Well, I think the pain will go away when we do finally win it, whenever that may be. But for now,
2022,
yeah,
baby, it's coming.
yeah. So, I mean, that's the most optimistic I've heard you. We've got a new Tom this season.
New Tom,
Usually,
new Tom.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you know what I'm doing this season? Because I obviously went through last season. I'm not. I don't do predictions. Don't do anything like that. That's going out the window this year. Sod it. I was hurt that much. My like trust in my little thing about not doing predictions can do one as far as I'm concerned. I'm going for it. All guns blazing this year, mate. You see me. It's a change, Tom. It's a more
yeah.
confident
That's
Tom.
what we like to hear. I want to hear you putting your neck on the line with these pre-match predictions.
That's it.
But how well you do, well, remains to be seen. But it's good to see. It's good to see.
I've got too many splinters on my arse, mate, for sitting on the fence for so long. That's the problem.
Yeah, I get
It's about time to change things around. So we've got a couple of topics to talk to tonight. A few people on Facebook mentioning a few things as well. But we're going to. I'm gonna try and put this in. I don't want any talk of a certain midfielder and a certain striker today. Every time I look at Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, there's just something there. It's just like I don't want it to be about that tonight. Do you know what I mean? It's covered by everything at the minute, isn't it? The transfer news, the transfer stories. It's all quiet. Are you guys happy just not to talk about those two positions at the minute?
I don't have a clue what you're talking about, mate. To be
Fantastic.
honest.
That's good for me. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to move on quickly. One of the biggest questions Bibby put in, one of our admins, is the same formations for last season. So Pep's got this fantastic way of working a team into a winning formation. Obviously, not having a dedicated striker last season or playing a dedicated striker last season did really well for us. But Amy, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think we're going to stick with the same formation, or do you think that I do, that people may have cottoned on to the way we play, so he's going to try and change it up again? What do you reckon?
I think I'm a bit worried he's going to start trying to play like we did when we lost 2-1 to Chelsea with that five at the back because obviously Laporte is thinking about going and Ake because they're not getting game time. So I'm worried he's going to try and find a way to get them more game time and play a bit like how Chelsea do. But then, yeah, we do need an out-and-out striker. But I think if Gabby comes into form, I think we'll be absolutely fine with him. And our Delat training with the first team as well. And I saw something about Torres was saying that he fancies himself as a bit of an out-and-out striker now. He wasn't comfortable when he was younger, but he sort of prefers that now. So I'd quite like to see if he could, in the smaller games, give him a go there and see what.
I'm sure we spoke about this before. I would love to see Torres as a striker. I think he's got, for his age, he seems to have fantastic positional ability. He knows where the net is. He just needs to put on a bit of timber, doesn't he? He just needs to bulk up a little bit. He seems to be the similar height as Sergio was, but he seems a lot slighter and a lot thinner. You need to be a bit more built, I think, for those positions. What do you reckon, Tom?
Yeah, I think Torres is sort of, you tend to get it with them younger players who come over, and the first season they're settling in. I think obviously it will have been a lot of work off the pitch with Pep, obviously on the training ground and what have you. But I think, yeah, this season he's got a real chance to come into his own. I mean, we won't name names about who may be there, who may not be there by the time the season comes around. But I think Torres will get his fair share of minutes next season. And again, every year as City fans, there's an expectance that we're going to play a lot of games. There's an expectance that we're going to go on deep runs in the domestic cups, and obviously we'll have Champions League group games. There's enough games to get this squad enough minutes to keep them satisfied. And if Torres can prove in those earlier cup games or sort of those Champions League group stage games, like he did last season, that he's improved from last season and that he's got that sort of ability to play that number 9 role, then I don't see any reason why we might not see more of him in that central role. And again, without naming names that might be coming in, there's a particular player who likes to play sort of on the right hand side where Torres would usually play if we sort of played him as a wide man, and that means maybe with Aguero leaving and debates over whether Jesus is better on the left or through the middle, there is that opening in the centre for someone to come in and fill that spot. So why not Torres? I think if he is given sort of the green light by Pep, I can't see why there'd be any issues with him playing in that number 9 role.
One of the things just jumped up to me there, Amy, you said a minute ago about Laporte and Ake potentially looking to move on. I've heard nothing. No, the rumour mill's not been doing the rounds since those initial rumours started to come around. Do you think that's a possibility?
I don't think it is as much as I thought it was earlier. Right early on in the transfer window, I saw more about Ake than Laporte, because I think Laporte himself shut down those rumours. He saw it and he tweeted about it saying, like, check your facts, whatever. But I don't know when it was a while ago, something about Ake not being satisfied with the number of minutes he's been playing. But I think if we do, because we will get pretty far in all the cups and Champions League group stage, I don't see why he can't play a decent part in those games and the ones against lower Premier League teams as well. I don't see why he can't get a decent amount of game time.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because if you come into City, you've got to expect you've got to your time on the bench at some point. You've got to expect to do that whole squad thing. You think you would have thought Ake is coming into this? Would Ake have really thought he's going to step into the first team straight away? I don't think he would have done.
I think I was just going to quickly say with Ake, I think injuries didn't help him last season, and I don't think anyone could have foresaw the fact that John Stones was going to turn into a superstar. I think when Ake came in, the potential was really that it was going to be that Laporte and Diaz as a starting partnership, with Ake sort of coming in as that third choice. And like I say, we unearthed or re-earthed a gem in John Stones that no one could have predicted at the start of last season. No one had predicted John Stones would have even been at the club when the season kicked off. We thought West Ham were linked with him, a couple of other clubs were linked with him. We thought we'd see the back of him. So, and then the revival of John Stones and the fact he spent the vast majority of the season injured meant that he just never really got that chance. And as much as he seems like he's a good player, he's nothing great. I think he may have. I know he's only been here 12 months, but I can't see a way that Ake sort of finds a way into any sort of regular game time at City now. And I don't think he'll leave sort of this summer, but I think he'll sort of stay for another season, play a bit of part role, and then we'll see the back of him the year after. I may be wrong. I was wrong about John Stones, but I'd be very surprised if Ake sees any significant minutes for us this season.
Yeah, John Stones was just miraculous last season. I really hope he carries that through to this season. If he does, I just can't see Ake getting a chance. The only chance I can see is Laporte and Ake getting a position is left back, and that's. Did Laporte play left back against Liverpool last season? Was that the season before?
I remember he played against Burnley when we played Burnley at Turf Moor. We sort of played a 3-back out of possession with him on the left hand side. A 5-back in possession with him on the left hand side, out of possession, and a 3-back in possession with Cancelo and maybe it was Zinchenko moving in. I don't know. He's weird, Pep, innit? He probably played everywhere, hasn't he? But yeah, I think he played on the left a couple of times.
So for system-wise, you can't think. I personally don't think the defence is going to change too much. Pep's bound to chuck the odd five in defence, 3 in defence at some point in the season, isn't he? But up front, I think it does purely depend on our striker options, doesn't it? To what we're going to do. I mean, you can't see him going the old Mike Bassett 4-4-2, can you? Well, do you know what? For all we know, he'll do that in the Champions League final next season. Just give it to lump it up to the big man up front, and the big man's Torres. It's never going to happen, pal. So yeah, I can't see it changing too much formation-wise, but it purely depends on reinforcements and people coming in. But we're not discussing that, are we? So we move quickly on. Tom, did you get your season ticket changed? Because I want to talk a bit about the new season ticket system that's come in play, and obviously we've all seen the boards. Hey, have you seen the new light boards around the screen, around the pitch? They've kind of doubled in size. I don't know if you've seen them.
No, I haven't seen that.
They look really great, but they've had to move Tom because Tom was sat right on where the M was for Man City.
Yeah, no, I think they've sort of put a second taller screen behind a smaller one, so it's got some sort of like 3D effect on the. I don't really know. It's to do with obviously generating revenue, but yeah, but we moved from we were 1-1-1 in the corner, next to the away fans in the kit packs as they call it, and we've moved over to 1-1-7, I think, which is, as far as I'm aware, part of the new railed seating bit, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Is that right? Is that all fully operational then?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was confirmed that it was something that they were doing, and all the pictures that we've seen of the pitch being relayed and how everything's moving on. That section in the south stand behind the goal doesn't have any seats in it. All the seats have been taken out, and it was confirmed that that was the area where the safe standing was coming into place. And as far as I'm aware, don't quote me on it, it is from this season. So I'm expecting that first game of the season, or home game against, is it Norwich that we got home first? I'm expecting that the rail seating will be in, but I may be completely off the mark with that.
Well, yeah, it was definitely coming around. I'm sure I saw pictures of it going in. I'm absolutely convinced I saw pictures of it going in somewhere. But it's just if we can, because I don't understand it. Are we allowed to do the safe standing then? Is that now a thing? Or because I
think the club has been given permission to sort of put X amount of seats in to trial it, and then if it sort of is successful through the trial phases, they can then expand it to other areas of the stadium. But
so where is it now then? Is it behind the goal?
Yeah, in the south stand, sort of.
Okay, yeah.
114 across to 117 or 113 across to 117. I'm pretty sure it's that area.
They should be pretty lively seats though, pal. They should be great.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. We like that bit of atmosphere. Obviously, when I was younger, we were in the family stand where I weren't allowed to hear the naughty words and stuff. But now that I'm a big boy and I know what's going on, I like to get stuff.
You're the one causing the naughty words.
Well, yeah, as much as I can. I mean, I've got a professional reputation to uphold as a big journalist, don't I? So I don't want to get myself on the front page of any newspapers.
Absolutely not. What about you? What about you, Amy? Are you a fan of standing room only, or do you prefer to have the option?
I did want to get in the safe standing bit, but I'm pretty sure this is going to sound really bad because I have nothing to do with our season tickets. My dad just does it every year. It sounds really bad, but we've just renewed for the same seats again, I'm pretty sure. But I'd love to get in the safe standing bit. I think that'd be
the last time I went safe standing. This is how long ago it was. It wasn't even safe. It was Tranmere Rovers, and City had just signed Paolo Wanchop and George Weir. That's how long ago I stood up at a game. That sounds bloody long ago. That was a long time ago. That was a hell of a season as well. Imagine signing George Weir. It was, I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, I was going to swear then. I better not do that, so all in all, we've got the new season ticket system coming in play. Have you guys had the app downloaded onto your phone then? Because obviously they're not doing cards anymore, are they? They're doing it all through mobile phones. Do you guys know about that yet?
I've seen the news about it. I can't say I've downloaded anything or got anything in place yet, but I've been reading about it today, and I think the traditionalist in me thinks tickets are great. I love sort of keeping all of my season tickets and away day ticket stubs and everything, but then the realist in me also thinks this is something that's going to happen to every club. It's the sort of the digital age is taking over, and it is something that all clubs will move to. I think obviously we were always going to come under a bit of fire for being the first club, as far as I'm aware, in the Premier League to go completely digital. But I give it 2 or 3 years, and I think the vast majority of clubs in the Premier League, maybe not ones in places like Burnley, but in the big cities, can I say that?
You just have, mate. You just have.
I think I'll never be working on.
Breaking news: Burnley has the internet.
Yeah, no, I think we'll see it. Digital will roll out across everywhere.
Just if
there'll be hiccups with it, but no.
Of course it is. I get the train all the time. I use my phone. I get on a plane. I use my phone. It's just natural that it's going to be a football stadium next. Just if anyone's wondering what we're talking about, City have introduced mobile ticketing for all matches at the Etihad and the Academy Stadium from this season onwards. Obviously, season 21-22. Most Android phones are compatible, and iPhone 6, I think, 6 Plus, I think, coming into there. Now, this is the problem for my uncle. My uncle has a Nokia, no idea what it is, but he's really happy that it's got a digital screen that flips around the old City badge, the old City crest round in circles. And he got him. I hope you're watching this, Chris. I really do. He's probably not because he's, like I say, internet. And his phone was so old. His wife changed it for him, got him a new one, and he had it for 2 weeks. He was fed up with the technology. All he wants is he literally just wants a phone. I just want a phone to ring people on time. I don't want all this. So he's knackered if he goes to the ground. He wouldn't have a clue. I can see him standing in the queue next to the steward, shouting at the steward, asking him how he gets his ticket off this thing. I can't wait to be there. But you know what? I think it's one of those things. The only issue I've got with it is if your phone dies. or something like your phone breaks, something like that en route to the game. But City are offering like phone booths around the stadium where you can quick charge your phone, which I think is a fantastic idea to do, and that kind of nips any negativity in the bud with stuff like that. Can you guys think of any of the negatives that might cause? I can't really think there is, because if you go to a steward and say my phone's died and my phone's broke, my name's this is where I live, there must be a way to get in there.
The only good thing for me is sort of everyone has it at some point where last minute something comes up and you call your mate and you go, oh, do you fancy going to the game today? I can't make it. Stop by mine, pick up the tickets on the way and you can go. What happens in that situation? I think they've said like you can arrange to sort of transfer your tickets to family members in advance of the game if you can't make it. But when you get those last minute things where you just can't go to the game, or all of a sudden the tickets come spare, I meet you at the pub and I've got a spare ticket, you can use that to scan in, my mate can't come. What you're going to do, send your mate's phone with him and say, sorry, you can't use your phone for the day whilst we go to the football, and then I'll bring it back to yours later on. It's just those little things like that happen every now and again, which
do you know what? I never thought of that.
You know, like when you're in Mary D's and you go, oh, my mate's got a spare ticket, I'll bring it with me, and you can have it and you can jump in on his ticket. You can't do that if it's on a phone. Like, it's not something that's plausible. So they're mild inconveniences, but when it's a mild inconvenience that happens to 30,000 people at one time across the course of a season, it's a mild inconvenience for a lot of people. So it becomes a bit more of an inconvenience. So
yeah, no, I see that. The only thing I think there is it must be a QR code type system, and if it is, you can easily take a photocopy of that, can't you? Print screen your phone and send it to somebody.
This is what I thought, but we went to the cricket at the weekend. We went to watch the 100 at Old Trafford, and my granddad came late. Total tangent, but he came late and he was at the gate and he messaged me, and I went to screenshot the ticket to send to him so he could just scan in on his phone because I had it on mine, and the app said you can't screenshot, and when you screenshot it, the QR code blurred out on the screen grab, so where it would be was just a white box. So I don't know if they're going to do something like that to avoid you being able to pass your ticket around, but that I thought that, and then when it came out today I thought, oh yeah, just screenshot it. Oh no, Granddad was stuck at the gate, so I had to run round the gates to go and find him. I missed about 20 balls of the cricket, but that's the thing. They can put these safety measures or these sort of measures in place to stop people doing that. So, but it depends on what they want. If they try and do it to just make it easier with technology, then they won't do that. But if they want to make it difficult to stop people selling on tickets or passing them to people who shouldn't have tickets, then they can put their measures in place.
Do you know what? It's funny because I've just while you've been talking, I've been looking at the website here about what if my phone has no signal, etc., etc. What if I don't have a smartphone? And one option is to print the ticket at home. If you do not have a smartphone and nobody is attending, and your friends and family are able to download your mobile season ticket on their smartphone, you'll be able to request a print-at-home tickets for each match via your online account. Again, it's a ball ache, innit? They're making it hard, aren't they? Yeah.
It's more hassle than it needs to be. You can just have a little piece of plastic and scan in with that, which is done as fine for years. So, yeah, it's unnecessary in my opinion, but it'll
definitely be something else for City fans to whinge about at some point, won't it? So let's leave it at that and move on. One player I wanted to have a chat to you guys about. We were looking forward to playing and seeing what this year, and this wasn't on them. I'm having a bit of a tangent here. But I just noticed I want to have a chat about the Cup scheme, because obviously you got to sign up for the Cup scheme. So shout out for everyone, if you want to sign up for the Cup scheme, you've not got long to do it. So pull your fingers out if you're going to do into that. Out of the squad we've got, if you think in the FA Cup and the League Cup, who are the players that you thinking are going to be our standout players for there? And I've just got a feeling Jesus is going to do well this season. I don't know. You know what my predictions are like, Tom. They're usually way out of proportion with what goes on with reality, but I could just say he's Jesus being a little superstar this year, and I don't know why. What do you think about that, guys?
I think Torres will be. I can really see him, because the few games that he did play for us last season, he was in very good form, and when he's played for Spain as well, again he's never seems to have a poor game, and I can see him in the cups especially having a really, really good season.
It's a good shout that actually. He did well, didn't he? I'm glad he's our player, isn't he? What do you reckon, Tom? Am I pie in the sky again?
It's hard to make these predictions without knowing who's coming in. Without mentioning any names that we don't want to mention, if we don't sign any strikers, Jesus has got a real opportunity this season to put a marker down and say, like, there's been questions about whether or not I can replace Aguero, but this will be his season if he's given that opportunity. But I just don't think he will be. I cannot see us starting next season or ending the transfer window without bringing in a big name striker who will automatically come in as that first choice. But I do think Torres will have a good season as well. I think Torres seems like a player who thrives sort of on the big stage, but also in front of crowds. I think he's not. We've not seen him play really in front of a City crowd. And you look at some of his performances that he had sort of in the Euros as well. He puts on a show. He's a very skillful player, and I think with the crowd behind him and with that sort of backing, I think he's got the potential to be one of the bargains of sort of the decade. We only paid, what was it, 20 million quid for him, which in the current climate is silly to pay that little amount of money for a player with such talent. But yeah, it all depends on who comes in for me. But if you're asking me, like, as of right now, who I think will be sort of a breakthrough player, I'd agree with Torres. I think he's got a big season ahead of him.
It's a good shout, Torres, actually. It's a really good shout. I just hope he has a bit more of a position than bit part. Obviously, he's still getting used to Pep systems and the way we play, etc., etc. But you'd like to think he'll start the lion's share of the League Cup games, and the early rounds of the FA Cup games, and proves himself. And you know, we've got Barnsley this Saturday in a friendly. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff at the Etihad. I think that's at the Academy, actually, isn't it, Tom? Do you know that? Is it the Academy? Yeah. So it'll be great to see him play then. But I don't know if he's back from international duty yet. Do we know if he's back?
As far as I'm aware, the majority, if not all, of the squad are sort of back in training. I saw that Diaz and the Portuguese lads were in this week. Maybe they come back next week. Actually, I think we got the English lads left to come back. And where did Spain get to? Semi-finals? Maybe semi-finals and final were next week. I'm not sure. I don't think he'll play many minutes if he does play though. If he does, sort of, if he is back.
Be interesting to see what happens when all the English players come back and all
four of them.
Yeah.
John Stones, Kyle Walker, Raheem Sterling, and the other one is
maybe
the other.
Maybe.
The other.
Yeah. Phil Foden, yeah, I'm talking about Phil. Obviously Phil Foden. Oh, I'd love us to make a big signing. I really would. I'm itching to talk about it, but I've been told not to, so I'm not going to. But I would absolutely love us to make a big signing. And people keep talking to me about, we need to sign Danny Ings. No, we don't. No, mate, we don't. We don't need to sign Danny Ings.
10 years ago, Danny Ings would have been a standout. 20 years ago, Danny Ings to City would have been amazing.
I would have had Danny Ings' name on my arm if we would have signed him 10 years ago, mate.
We've passed the Danny Ings stages. We're not a Roque Santa Cruz club anymore. We're on to bigger and better things now.
Oh, you'd like to think so. Apart from what are your thoughts on strengthening? Amy, I'll come to you with this. What's your thoughts on strengthening our left back position? Do you think we've got a need to with Mendy's? I'm not going to say lacklustre. He's not lacklustre. Inconsistency. That's the word I'm going to use for Mendy. Do you think left back's a position we need to strengthen?
I don't really think so, because I personally rate Zinchenko very, very highly. And if Walker can have a good season, Cancelo can play left back as well. So if Walker stays fit at right back, then Cancelo and Zinchenko can both play left back. And I think Ake used to a little bit for Bournemouth as well. And potentially Laporte if it came to it. But I don't think personally we really need to, because we've fared all right this year with them. I don't think we had many issues. So
it's a funny one, isn't it? I think I mentioned on the pod the other day that we always seem to hunt for a left back, get a left back, and by the end of the season we're all saying how good Zinchenko is, and it seems to be never a revolving circle. This happening, so maybe we'll just give it to Zinchenko from the start of the season and see what he can do for us. I thought he was great. I thought he had a good Euros as well. He's obviously their key player, isn't he? Why not? Why not play him? Massively. Right, last point I want to talk to you about is football kits. I need to know your honest thoughts of City's second kit, the white one. What do you think? Have you guys seen it yet? You must have seen it.
I'm buying it. I absolutely love it.
Amy's ordered it at the shop. Tom?
Yeah.
I'll. You know what? I very rarely buy a shirt at the start of the season. I usually wait till they hit the sale at the end of the year. But I'll be getting that. I think that away shirt. That away shirt. It's so clean. I'd really like just. I mean, it's not going to be a great one to wear to the football and spill beer down yourself, but it's a really, really nice shirt. And I think the home shirts, I'm okay. I'm sort of mixed on the home shirt. The rumoured third shirt is absolutely awful.
We're going to come on to that in a minute. We're going to
no place in football. It looks like it belongs in a dodgy shop in like Las Ramblas.
Tenerife. Yeah, Tenerife. Yeah, with Kappa on one side and the old Christmas crest on the other.
Exactly, like Adidas 2-stripe down the side or something like that. But no, that away shirt I think genuinely is one of the nicest shirts we've had in years. I think City's white shirts are all. Yeah,
this is my favourite. One of my favourite shirts. This one, and the only thing that makes me really nervous about wearing this and this other white one that's coming out is a cider and black going down the top.
Yeah,
or a pint of Guinness getting chucked, and it's just one of them. It's just like that's going to get ruined really quickly on a night out if I'm not careful.
Yeah, you don't want to wear it to the football, but you're not going to wear it on for like a 3-course meal either, because at the end of the day, it's still a football shirt. But
I don't know. You can have free courses at McDonald's, mate.
yeah, that's community shield and that.
Nuggets for starter.
But yeah, that'd be barbecue sauce or sweet curry sauce. It's knackered, you know what I mean? So
ruined again.
Maybe it's one that I'm gonna have to display. I'll buy it just to look at 'cause it's beautiful. But no, I think it's one of the nicest shirts I've seen of any club. But in recent years, that's up there with my favourite City shirts I've seen.
Do you know, like when in marketing tactics they have like 3 offers: gold, silver, and bronze. Gold's so expensive you don't want it. Bronze looks a bit crap, so you always go for the silver one because that's like the fair to middle. I kind of get the feeling City are doing that with football shirts this season, because the third kit is a training kit that I just can't get my head round. Where's the badge? Where's the badge?
Apparently, on different pictures of them, it looks like this really fine versions of the badge plastered all over it. Like if you look at it close up in the fabric. If you search for it on Twitter, these images that have it where it's I don't know how to explain it. Does that make sense? What I'm saying is there's loads of the.
Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. There is. I'm just looking at it now. Oh yeah, you know I never even noticed that.
Don't get me wrong. It's still absolutely garbage and toilet water and has no place on a football pitch. But yeah, these little ones all over it.
Never even noticed that.
Puma are doing it by the looks of things with a few different clubs. I've seen an AC Milan version of it and a couple of others. That sort of strip across the middle with the name of the club rather than the badge.
Didn't Italy? Was it Italy that played with that?
Yeah, Italy had it in the Euros. Yeah, but it looks smart on the Italy shirt.
Yeah, Italians know how to do their kicks, don't they?
Cool, don't they? I'm not going to be walking around East Manchester in one of them. It looks like my pajamas that I'm going to go to the shopping. It's I don't know. It's a bold tactic, but I can't see it being one they stick with further down the line, because I can't see it being a particularly great seller unless you sell it for like a tenner because it's rubbish and they just want to get them out on the street. So
I can't. Part of me just thinks they're gonna. City are just keeping a third kit really quiet. They'll chuck this out. There's a bit of a curveball, but the third kit they're gonna just like bang. This is it. This is. But the rumours will have come out by now, won't they? Nothing's kept secret these days. That Italian kit in the Euros, by the way, the Italians just know how to make football kits, don't they? Whatever you say.
How cool did Roberto Mancini look?
Oh, don't talk to me about Roberto.
So nice.
What a man! He is a beautiful man, isn't he? Just there with his blazer over his shoulder. I was like, oh. Bobby man, what a man he was.
His little hairstyling, just
I hope he still sits at home and watches Coronation Street with a cup of tea like he was doing back when he signed for us in that suit. What a man he was. What a man.
It's a funny one, Bobby, isn't it? I've been asked so many times would I have him back after Pep goes. It's kind of like just for his style. Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah. You know what? Genuinely, when you think about it, that 2011-12 season, some of the football we played was so exciting. It was just full send, 2 really fast wingers. He played really good football, and I think he left on a really sour note, didn't he? It sort of all went downhill really quickly, and then we had that FA Cup loss to Wigan.
Don't talk to
me about that. He was out the door sort of a couple of days later, weren't he? And Brian Kidd took charge, and it just really, really went downhill. But if he'd come back, I tell you what, I think you'd be hard pressed to find many City fans who'd be opposed to Mancini having
I agree with you. Well, he told he was got the chop on the day of the Wigan game, didn't he? Or so see, which is horrible.
Supposedly, because was it not the week before where the pictures came out of him fighting Balotelli on the training pit? That was like in the build up to it was all just a proper circus, wasn't it? And then apparently all the players were kicking off and. But and then obviously we got beat by Wigan, which still hurts a little bit. But
it's dreadful. That was a dreadful day. I remember it was raining on the way back to the car. It's like, I want to go home now.
It was awful. I was lucky I had a cup final on my own that day, so I didn't go.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
That's the only one I've not been to.
Yeah, I was so happy that I wasn't there because it just looked so painful to be there. When Zabaleta got sent off, and it was just an awful day. But no, yeah, Bobby Mann could have him back in a heartbeat when Guardiola leaves for sure.
So is that a unanimous? We're all buying the white kit then.
Oh yeah,
I think it is, isn't it? I think it is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is that still 70 quid, by the way? Was the home kit 70 quid?
I think it's 60, 70, and then I think with Jack Grealish printed on the back.
Oh, you said it!
I had to get it in at some point. I don't get names in the back of the shirt anymore.
I prefer Ings, to be honest. It's less letters.
I remember when I was younger, I remember wanting Wright Phillips on the back of my shirt, and my dad said to me, "You sure you don't want like Gareth Barry instead or something like that? He might be there for a bit longer." I was like, "Dad, they don't charge by the letter anymore. It's okay."
Oh, amazing. Right, we're going to love you and leave you guys. We'll leave it to that. And I don't know when I'm ordering my new City kit. I probably have to wait till my birthday. My kids buy it me. But I love you and leave you. We're doing another show on Monday night. We're doing a preview to the season. Obviously, we've got the Leicester game, haven't we? Is that next weekend, Leicester?
Yeah.
God, before we know it, we'll be halfway through the season.
Yeah, it's coming round fast. It's not stopped, has it? When you got these European international competitions, you just don't get that break. So we're back.
Absolutely right. Has anyone got anything to add before we go?
Don't think so.
No, if City want to send us a discount code, I don't want to spend 60 quid on a home shirt or away shirt. So if you want to send us a discount code, I'll send you my email address. Love you and leave you guys. Have a great night.
See you later, guys.
See you soon.